So here's the thing. When lots of folks are tossing around the question, is X group a cult? We should be paying attention to that. Like, you should be paying a lot of attention to that. In fact, most cult scholars will recommend, if there's a group that you're wondering, is it a cult? Like, it's such a specific question that we recommend that you go Google that question. Go Google, is X group a cult? Because if enough people have been asking that question, that is significant. This is very similar. I just read this book called A Little Less Broken about a woman, Marian Shambari, who gets a late in life autism diagnosis. And one of the things her therapist asked her is, do you think you're autistic? And when she says yes, she's like, after some evaluation, she's like, okay, I do too. And she says, and here's the thing. I don't usually find that neurotypical people sit around wondering if they're autistic. And I find this, as Danielle, a scholar of cults, extreme groups, and extremely bad leadership, and author of Uncultured, a book about growing up in one of the world's most extreme religious cults, the Children of God, and then going into the cult of the U.S. Army. You can get signed copies here. I find that it's such a specific question that it's something we should pay attention to. Most people, when we've had a good group experience, we do not walk away going, I wonder if that was a cult. This is specifically reserved for pejorative experiences. And we use the word cult, when we can tell that we have been in situations of coercive control, but we don't know how to explain it. So obviously I have a whole playlist about AA and how problematic they are. Most cult scholars at this point are warning that AA is a coercive program built on junk science by a man who wanted to be a cult leader and lied about how he got sober. And so it was never this like good intention thing in the first place, and it hurts a lot of people. And most of us understand this, and it's out there. But I'm just saying, even if that wasn't the case, even if this was some random group I had never heard of, and this person says, oh, people are always asking if it's a cult, that's a no bueno sign. I'm sorry. I just don't like walk into the grocery store every day and wonder if it's a cult. Like, when you're having non-cult experiences, you don't sit around wondering if you're in a cult. So that's something I always advise people to pay a little more attention to, because there's no such thing as good cults. So if you're sitting around wondering if this organization you're a part of is a cult, and the answer is yes, yikes on bikes. And what that means is eventually it is going to hurt the individual. And a lot of times when it comes to AA, like in many cults, the individual who is hurt is the children. And so for that reason, I will always be here as a place to share the negative stories that you have had with any group, including AA, the one that people really come for you if you share the negative stories of. If you have more questions, check out my playlist, Is AA a Cult?